to help you play the music you love with the people you love. And yesterday I asked the question. Let me just get on my phone so I don't misquote it. What's your biggest struggle with fingerstyle guitar? And I put four answers for the poll. First one was learning new songs. Second one was accuracy. Three, finding enough practice time, and four, other. And I put leave a comment. Um, far and away the biggest two winners here that were kind of a tie were learning new songs and then finding enough time to practice. And I can really relate to that because those would probably be my biggest two that I could think of, and that's why I put them on the poll. Right now, I'm resurrecting a bunch of fingerstyle songs that I haven't played in a long time. And you can like there were some mistakes in there, and you can tell because like I haven't played that in a long time. I'm dusting it off, and I'm essentially kind of relearning a song. And so I can really relate to the people that said learning songs is my number one struggle because to learn a fingerstyle song properly and have it really performance ready, it takes longer than you would think. It takes kind of a long time. Um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and just give some tips that have helped me over the years for these top two challenges with fingerstyle. The second one was finding enough time to practice, and I think they're very related to each other because like I have a 4-week-old baby, and I have you can probably hear it on the other side of the door, a 3-year-old just in there, and I work from home, and I don't get that much practice time anymore. Maybe on a good day an hour, probably between 30 minutes and an hour a day on the days that I get to practice. So I understand how hard it is to find time to practice new songs or learn new songs, and then just find time to practice in general. But I just want to encourage you if you're having the same kind of struggles here, the more important thing is to play the long game and look at this as a game or a struggle of consistency rather than a struggle of like I'm gonna get in 2 or 3 hours of practice time in per day, because that's for the vast majority of people, unless you're retired or younger and not in the workforce yet, you're not really going to get that much. But it's more important that you can do 30 minutes to an hour a day 5 days a week, 4 or 6 days a week, than it is to hammer things out and just lose your life and not do anything else. But the things that have helped me over the years with learning songs is to just realize that I have, and everyone has, a capacity as far as repertoire of songs goes. So start out with something smaller, like a goal of 3 songs. Then once you get those down, because they take time, months to learn, right, to get down, then move your goal up to 6, and then 10, and then 12. And I find most people kind of cap out around 12 to 15, but once you can play 12 to 15 fingerstyle songs, your core skills are going to be so much higher that it doesn't take as long to learn new songs. It will take still longer than you probably think, but it won't take as long. So what I would say is just pick a couple of songs at first so you want to get down and just commit to them 4 to 6 times a week, even if it's only 20, 30, 40 minutes. And that will really help. But you have to play the long game. If you're looking to play a short game and you're just frustrated, it's like, oh, I can't play 20 songs or I can't play whatever song I want with fingerstyle. That's really not the way it works. It's kind of, you have this set repertoire of songs you can play, and you may have some fall off and you add new ones back in, and then you kind of rotate through depending on what you're inspired to do. That's the way it works for me. I have about between 12 and 15 songs that I work on a regular basis, and sometimes it falls off to around 6. Sometimes I guess 15 would be the max. So yeah, learning songs does take longer than you think, and being probably the biggest things for getting them down is being consistent with your practice and going slower than you think. If I practice Deep River Blues, and I have the self-control to sit here and play it like that, like that without making a mistake. Practicing it through one time like that is worth like 10 times of practicing it through and making little mistakes here and there. So however much your seat can endure, practicing slowly like that, it's going to pay off way bigger in the future. And if you guys have any other questions or comments about your biggest struggles for fingerstyle guitar, leave them in the comments here, and we can talk about them, because you may be thinking your struggle is unique, or just only you struggle with it, but I'm sure a lot of other people out there do too. And it's a good thing to discuss these things so we can all get better. Let's see. The second one was finding enough time to practice, and this one's going to be different for everyone. But me and my wife were talking. I guess it was about a couple years ago, about the difference between liking the idea of being good at guitar versus liking actually being good at guitar. And if you really want to be good at guitar, you'll find 15 minutes in the day at least to sit down and practice, even if it's bunched up. Like because of the shoulder issues I've been splitting my practice up more. Like I'll practice 2 or 3 songs, then I'll go do something else, and a couple hours later I'll come back and I practice 2 or 3 more songs, then a couple hours later I come back and practice 2 or 3 more songs. But if you can't find 15, 20, 30 minutes in a day to practice guitar, then I would maybe sit down with yourself, and I have to do this all the time, and ask yourself, do I just like the idea of being good at guitar or being better at guitar, or do I really like being better at guitar? Because if you want to be better at guitar, you'll sit down and make it a priority. And the cool thing about it is once you do 15 minutes here consistently, it'll go into a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and then it'll become just part of your day. Like you wouldn't go through your day, most people, without eating lunch, right? It's just part of your day. Or you wouldn't go through your day without, I don't know, watching a show at night or having breakfast or whatever it is. It just becomes part of your day, and like if you don't do it, it feels like there's a hole missing. But you'll get in a routine, and that's the key to learning songs. So those two things are kind of hand in hand. So it still has some work to do, but it's much better than it was a couple of weeks ago. And if I really slow down, which I will today in my practice time, it gets better and better, but you have to be consistent with it. I guess it was about a month and a half ago now I started focusing on fingerstyle a lot more, because I knew we have the relaunch of the Fingerstyle Masterclass coming up with all the live master classes and things. So I needed to really refocus on that. And I feel like I'm about halfway there, back up to speed. In another couple of weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks, I'll be all the way up to speed with fingerstyle stuff, and I'll have all these tunes dusted off. So just know that, like, no matter who you are, if you're inconsistent with your practice, your edge wears off and you get rusty, and you have to relearn songs. And it takes longer than you think to actually learn the songs that you love. So that's the live stream for today. I just wanted to address yesterday's poll. If you have any other, you go take the poll. It's still open and everything. But if you have any other additions to what is your biggest struggle with fingerstyle guitar, you can leave them in the comments or go vote on the polls on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook there. Anyways, lots more fingerstyle stuff coming up. We've been releasing one lesson a week on YouTube, and lots of social media posts on little fingerstyle tips and encouraging little snippets to help you make the most of your practice time. Anyway, that's it for today. I was thinking, I don't know if you guys have seen this. I had a TC Electronic Polytune clip for the longest time, for 10 years or something like that, and it finally died. So I was shopping around and I wanted to get something that was rechargeable, because I got tired of replacing the batteries. So I got this D'Addario. I don't even know what it's called, but it's USB rechargeable. So that's awesome. I don't have to worry about lugging batteries around with me anymore, or it dying at a gig or something. All I have to do is remember to charge it the night before or something. And it's very bright too. I'm out, obviously outside, but I was sitting there tuning a while ago, and I was like, oh, this thing is very bright, and I tipped it up, and I was like, oh, it's perfect for outside too. Feels cool. And it's relatively inexpensive. I think it's 25 or 30 bucks. So get one of those. No endorsements or paid promos there. It's just something that I found that works really good. Okay, guys, I'll see you later this week. Bye.